music's fitting for the Satanists that are coming up. People that just want to dominate everyone are all about themselves. The thing is, they're weak. When you really know who they are. They only thrive in societies that, for some reason, tolerate them. That's coming up in a few minutes. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, he is our guest. Let's talk to Barbara in Florida. You got your questions for Ben? You've got questions? I think he's got answers. Go ahead.
Well, I want to say thank you very much for taking my call. You're awesome. And I want to know about thyroiditis. I have 2 nodules on my thyroid. My blood work came back. They say normal, but I would think it's in the higher range of the normal. And I was taking nascent iodine for the past 5 months. I didn't know if that aggravated a condition that I may already have. And I have a good diet. I've conquered chronic fatigue and my allergies by changing everything. So, any suggestions?
Yeah, you're dealing with a residual probably from your chronic fatigue. There's a very important relationship between the thyroid and your body's stress gland, which is called the adrenal glands. When the adrenal glands become overworked and they're constantly kicking in because you're either eating a lot of sugary foods or you're under a lot of physical stress or psychological stress, the adrenal glands will become overworked and the thyroid will slow down in response. So your thyroiditis may be secondary to a problem with the adrenal glands, and that could be a result of whatever was causing the chronic fatigue. I would guess that you had something going on in terms of your diet, in terms of your digestive system. That's usually what's involved with thyroid problems. Continue on. If you're not taking the iodine, or if you're stopped taking the iodine, I would get back on it. Iodine is extremely important.
Well, explain that, because you have to have that, but if you don't have it, the body will use something else, right?
Well, the body will use bromine, or chlorine, and most of us are getting plenty of chlorine through tap water. So if you're not getting iodine, your body will absorb chlorine and bromine more effectively. In fact, your thyroid will attempt to use it.
Now, what's the detoxing thing that...
That's very interesting. I was about to say that's very interesting, Alex. When you start taking iodine, all the bromine and chlorine that have been accumulating in your thyroid because you didn't have the iodine will come out in your blood, and you'll start to experience some of the toxicity associated with excess bromine in the blood.
Yeah, what's that name? Because
it's called brominosis. It's called brominosis, I think, is what you're thinking of. And some of the signs of brominosis include itching and rashes, problems. Yeah,
I don't want to get gross here, but he warned me.
Diarrhea, loose stools.
Well, I mean, not even that, but it was. I was warned by Dr. Ed Group. He said, "Listen, you're a little bit overweight. You're trying to exercise. All this." He goes, "When you take this, 2 weeks to a month, you're going to feel very toxic. Stuff's going to come out of your skin." Yeah. And I don't normally have oily skin or anything, and now I don't. All this stuff came out.
That's right.
I felt like I had a hangover for a week and a half, and then it was all passed, but.
As your body fat was breaking down, as you were losing fat, all the toxins that were stored in the fat. And that's one of the things the body will do when it can't handle toxicity. It'll store it in fat. It'll store it in fat in the gut. It'll store it in fat in the breasts. It'll store it in fat in the glutes. And as you start to lose weight, as you start to lose body fat, all those toxins will end up in your blood, and that's probably what you experience.
Could it be when you take iodine and you have all those toxins in your thyroid, it pumps them out?
Correct. That's called brominosis, and that's one of the things that happen when people start to supplement with a good iodine supplement like the nascent iodine. But that's not a reason not to use the iodine. That's a reason to continue using the iodine and make sure that the bromine doesn't reattach to the thyroid. So I'd be staying on the iodine supplements. And by the way, there's other nutrients that are very helpful for the thyroid, especially the B vitamins and also vitamin A and also essential fatty acids. And then don't forget about the digestive link. There's a very, very important digestive connection to thyroid issues, especially Graves' disease and autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's thyroid and other autoimmune diseases of the thyroid.
Ma'am, hope that answers your question. Does that answer your question, Barbara?
I was wanting to know if I should take the nascent iodine again or stop taking it.
Yes,
so that was my question.
I mean, that's what I would do. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do.
I mean, maybe she should get it out of salt if she's having an issue with another brand, or maybe she could talk to her physicians. What I would tell you, I'm not going to give you advice. I'm just a layperson here. But I mean, you need iodine. Period.
You need iodine. Alex and Barbara, these are essential. We're talking about something that is essential. It's not optional.
You'll die without it. You'll
die without it. Exactly. This is something that the body cannot make and must have. That's what it means to be essential. So if you deprive yourself of supplemental iodine, you better make sure you're eating a lot of fish and not eating a lot of seafood. That's pretty much the only place.
All right, we're almost out of time because I got to play this piece coming up. Let's go to Randy in Oklahoma. Quick question, Randy.
Okay, real quick here. Way to go, T-Rex. Keep it up, by the way. Hey, Ben, a question on policy and if time a medical one. On policy, I'm on the ballot for a House district up here in Oklahoma. I'd like to get in where we can stop the domination of doctor training and the curriculum in medical schools. Have you seen any groups that will have any good suggestions, for making changes in that, or am I off track on?
We as individuals have to begin to understand that this deification of the medical model is self-serving, and it's perpetuated by the medical model itself. It's not in our interest. These are not deities, and there's nothing divine about the medical model. In fact, it is anti-divine. And to deify the medical model is only in the interest of the medical model itself. It's not in the interest of the people.
Hey, I'm sorry to the other callers. I'm sorry to Ben Fuchs. I got to get to this piece. Ben, thank you for all the time. Your show comes on every day on GCNlive.com and syndicated across the country right before this transmission. Thank you so much. It was great having you on.
Thank you, Alex.
There goes pharmacist Ben Fuchs. Spent about an hour and a half with us. Now,